Excitement in the air as the 2017 USL season is upon us. It's the defending Western Conference champions, the Swope Park Rangers, hosting Oklahoma City Energy FC. Welcome to Kansas City, Missouri, and beautiful Children's Mercy Victory Field. I'm Carter Augustine. I'll be joined by Molly Dreska for tonight's action. And Molly, really exciting to start off the 2017 USL season.
Yeah, I think I'm most looking forward to seeing how Nikola Popovic and his team implement the infamous Sporting KC high pressure.
So we get to the team news in just a second. Of course, a couple big-time players leading the way for the respective teams in the back is this man, Cody Lorendi, returning as the man between the sticks for Oklahoma City.
Yeah, he ranked 5th last year with 80 saves, and his senior leadership is going to be imperative tonight.
We'll see him leading from the back for the Energy. Meanwhile, from the front for SPR, it's this man, Daniel Shallory, returning on loan from his native country, Hungary.
Yeah, he scored the game winner in the Swope Park opener last year, so I think we're all really interested to see what he brings on the wing tonight.
See how he does in his return. Let's take a look at the starting 11s for each teams, starting with Oklahoma City Energy. Could be a 4-5-1, could be a 4-4-2. Depends a lot on Jose Barril and what he does in attack.
Yeah, I think we're also going to be looking to see what Alex Dixon does on the wing. His speed is going to be a little bit dangerous, and we'll see how that matches up against Colton Storm.
Speaking of Colton Storm, let's take a look at that matchup. Alex Dixon and Colton Storm, one of the 5 players on loan from Sporting Kansas City, but a couple youngsters really catch the eye in midfield for the Rangers.
Yeah, we have 2 18-year-olds right in the middle of the park, so we're going to be interested to see how Hernandez and Kuzain do, but then also checking out Latif Blessing and Daniel Shallowy in the wide areas.
A lot to look for from both teams. There's lots of changes in the offseason. And, of course, hope springs eternal. The first game of this 2017 season. Stick with us. We'll be right back for first half kick. Catch the eye in midfield for the Rangers.
Yeah, we have 2.
Excitement in the air as the 2017 USL season is upon us. It's the defending Western Conference champions, the Swope Park Rangers. Excitement in the air as the 2017 USL season is upon us. It's the defending Western Conference champions, the Swope Park Rangers, hosting Oklahoma City Energy FC. Welcome to Kansas City, Missouri, and beautiful Children's Mercy Victory Field. I'm Carter Augustine. I'll be joined by Molly Dreska for tonight's action. And Molly, Really exciting to start off the 2017 USL season.
Yeah, I think I'm most looking forward to seeing how Nikola Popovic and his team implement the infamous Sporting KC high pressure.
So we get to the team news in just a second. Of course, a couple big-time players leading the way for the respective teams in the back is this man, Cody Lorendi, returning as the man between the sticks for Oklahoma City.
Yeah, he ranked 5th last year with 80 saves, and his senior leadership is going to be imperative tonight.
We'll see him leading from the back for the Energy. Meanwhile, from the front for SPR, it's this man, Daniel Shallory, returning on loan from his native country, Hungary.
Yeah, he scored the game winner in the Swope Park opener last year, so I think we're all really interested to see what he brings on the wing tonight.
See how he does in his return. Let's take a look at the starting 11s for each teams, starting with Oklahoma City Energy. Could be a 4-5-1, could be a 4-4-2. Depends a lot on Jose Barril and what he does in attack.
Yeah, I think we're also going to be looking to see what Alex Dixon does on the wing. His speed is going to be a little bit dangerous, and we'll see how that matches up against Colton Storm.
Speaking of Colton Storm, let's take a look at that matchup. Alex Dixon and Colton Storm, one of the 5 players on loan from Sporting Kansas City, but a couple youngsters really catch the eye in midfield for the Rangers.
Yeah, we have 2 18-year-olds right in the middle of the park, so we're going to be interested to see how Hernandez and Kuzain do, but then also checking out Latif Blessing and Daniel Shallowy in the wide areas.
A lot to look for from both teams as lots of changes in the offseason. And, of course, hope springs eternal. The first game of this 2017 season. Stick with us. We'll be right back for first half kick. Welcome back to Kansas City, Missouri, Swope Soccer Village and Children's Mercy Victory Field. It's the first game of the 2017 USL season. The Swope Park Rangers playing host to Oklahoma City Energy FC. Again, I'm Carter Augustine. I'll be joined by Molly Dreska, and we touched about it in the pregame, Molly. Before we get to talking about the change of style for the Swope Park Rangers, let's look at a little bit of a lineup change as a late lineup change was announced. Going out, number 8 in midfield, Guzman coming in for him, Alejandro Covarrubias. So a bit of a late-minute addition to the Oklahoma City lineup.
Yeah, Covarrubias actually played for the LA Galaxy in the 2016 or the LA Galaxy 2, in the 2016 and 2015 seasons. But he did actually dress for the first team a couple times last year during the U.S. Open Cup.
So plenty of experience for Covarrubias as he comes into Jimmy Nielsen's side at the very last minute. Meanwhile, for the Rangers, and Molly, it's something we talked about just briefly in preseason, but a bit of a change in style this season for Nikola Popovic, his first year as the head coach of the Rangers.
That's right. Last year, they definitely sat back and were a little bit defensive and looked to counter. This year, it's going to be the high press, just like Sporting Kansas City.
So we'll see how that new style is implemented from a first-year head coach. A lot to live up to, of course, for the defending Western Conference champions. As they get to start at home, where they did so well last season. Of course, they had some struggles last season with this Oklahoma City Energy team and a familiar face in Jimmy Nielsen.
Yeah, Jimmy was obviously part of that 2013 MLS Cup championship team. So we're happy to have him back in Kansas City. And actually, he's the longest tenured coach in the Western Conference now.
Entering his 4th season as the game is underway. The Swope Park Rangers starting from left to right and in their orange strip with white shorts and white numbers. Meanwhile, Oklahoma City just unveiling their new uniforms. They'll be playing in the dark blue with green trim. Right away, Colton Storm getting on the ball. One of the 5 players loaned out to the Swope Park Rangers by Sporting Kansas City this week.
You could tell right off the bat that it does look like OKC is lined up in that 4-5-1 formation.
It's a good spot from Molly as Jose Barril, big-time player, 2nd team All-League last season, is dropped in, playing just behind Wojciech Wuczek. Meanwhile, the Rangers, we can already see that new change of style as they've passed it along the back for the beginning stages of this match, and now a big switch from Kevin Ellis. Carlton Belmar trying to just flick it into the direction of Christian Duke, and ball turns over. Oklahoma City with their first kick of the ball of the game. There's a no-nonsense clearance from Cody Andrews, and Colton Storm under a bit of pressure. It's out of bounds off. First-round draft pick for Sporting Kansas City. Bit of an introduction to professional soccer there for Colton Storm. Deep throw in just over the head of an Energy player. Of course, tonight's referee, man in the middle, John Freeman. His linos Kyle Atkins and Ryan Cook, and meanwhile Elvis Matmutovic is the 4th official tasked with dealing with those unruly sidelines at times. It's a job that I don't think anyone wants.
I don't think so, but back to that long throw, and that's going to be something that the Swope Park Rangers are going to have to be careful of throughout this game, because that ball just bounced right in the box, and that could lead to a really dangerous scoring opportunity for Oklahoma Energy FC.
Now on the other end of the field, Shallowy and company trying to push it up that left flank. Energy will have a throw-in. Parker Maher battling in midfielders. The speed, as we mentioned, of Alex Dixon, but expertly taken away. And now Latif Blessing, his first little injection of pace into the match. And a late challenge and a foul. There's the first bit of action from headman John Freeman, and just a late challenge on Daniel Shallowy as he tried to get that pass away.
Yeah, and I think right before that, with Latif Blessing's speed already showing right early in this match, I think that's something we'll look forward to all season long, whether that's with the Rangers or Sporting Kansas City.
So an early set piece opportunity for the home side, the Rangers. Looks like Felipe Hernandez over the ball, whips it into the far post. It's a dangerous one. Just past everyone and out of bounds for a goal kick.
That was a very good ball whipped in by Hernandez. I think someone on the backside really needs to get at least a touch on that.
It's a very good ball in towards the back post from an academy youngster making his debut for the Rangers. Big talent, Felipe Hernandez, one to keep an eye out on. Dixon is first to the loose ball ahead of Shallowy. He'll play it back. It's a dangerous ball. Belmar now onto it, and it's a bailout from Mickey Daly, who has really rescued a terrible back pass into turning into something more dangerous.
I think it's those first game of the year jitters, playing a ball back like that in a critical zone. You just can't lose those.
Good defending from Daly, and now Energy pinned in to their defensive half. Christian Duke, the captain again for the Rangers. See him there on your screen. Played in every single game as the Swope Park Rangers went all the way to USL Cup final last season, the only player to do that. Meanwhile, deep clearance is chested away by Wojciech. Now there's Hernandez losing out in midfield, but sticks to his task, gets it back, and Kevin Ellis with a calm head finds a nice little through ball in the middle, and there's a really bad challenge from Christian Duke from behind. An early decision for the referee here. Perhaps first game form in the tackling as well. See, Christian Duke is perhaps lucky to escape any card there. As just 5 minutes into this game, a decision for John Freeman, and he elects to keep his pocketbook in his pocket. Meanwhile, the free kick dealt to the right side by Rasmussen. Deep cross, still alive in the box, and eventually the Rangers try and get it clear. Instead, Rasmussen comes forward. His shot is deflected and out for a corner kick. Perhaps some lackadaisical clearances there from the back from Swope Park Rangers, but heads up play from Philip Rasmussen. So it'll be the first corner of the game for the Energy. Out swinging corner kick to approach as the Energy have brought all their big bodies up into the box. Up towards the 6, headed away. Good defensive header there from Dakota Barnathan. Now looking for Carlton Belmar on the counterattack. Nice little nutmeg to keep possession. Exchange of a 1-2. He's picked out a nice ball for Blessing. Blessing now. Storm on the overlap. Cuts it back inside. He's found a teammate. Oh, Felipe Hernandez just skews his shot wide.
And I think that's some of the possession style of play that Nikola Popovich was talking about. Great cutback by Colton Storm, and that shot's just wide. I think he'd want that shot back again.
Just in front of goal, a golden opportunity for the youngster, Felipe Hernandez, who's 18 years old. But you're right, Molly, that's a bit of an example on the counterattack. Good job from Carlton Belmar, and it's a really nice move down the right-hand side after he switched the point of attack.
Carlton Belmar is one of the guys that Jimmy Nielsen before this match talked about being a handful, and was a little bit nervous to have going against his side.
2015 USL Rookie of the Year in his first season with the Swope Park Rangers after coming over from Portland Timbers 2. Good example of the type of play that led to that Rookie of the Year.
Belmar actually got an assist against Swope Park in that season opener game.
So joining the other side for this season. It's a good play to create a very good chance, best chance of the game so far. And now the Rangers maintaining possession. All 11 of Oklahoma City's players back inside their own half at the moment. There's Juan Camo. Crowded away from the ball, and Energy look to break with numbers. Dixon getting forward into the box, slides it through, still alive at the edge of the area, still Dixon. And again at the edge of the area, blocked away. Kevin Ellis still can't get it clear, still alive for the Energy. Rasmussen slides it away. Baril just tries to get across and it's blocked away, and the Rangers can breathe a little bit there as some action in the box and tough to clear for the team in orange.
Yeah, I think that whole play started with a pass into Kuzain, but he had about 4 guys right surrounding him, so he was put in a pretty tough position, but maybe you look to go backwards and just keep the ball in that situation.
And that's something head coach Nikola Popovich talked to us about, Molly, is if you turn the ball over in a tough area when you maintain that type of possession, in this changing of the styles, it can really, really cost you in the back.
Instead of forcing that ball in the middle, though, I think that they could have played that ball outside to one of the outside backs to alleviate some of the pressure.
So we'll see how the Rangers can adapt, and caught out in midfield, and you saw the speed of the Oklahoma City counter as well. Looks like they'll be looking to do more of that Dakota Barnathan now bringing it up from the back. Finds a good entry pass. Shallowy looking over the top, but defended away for the time being. Energy now. Richard Dixon trying to play it up the line and just is unable to. So it'll be played all the way back to Adrian Zendejas, who just allowed the pressure to get on top of him and in the end plays it out of bounds.
I don't think it's your first choice ever to play the ball out of bounds, but in a situation like that, just to alleviate some pressure, it's not a bad decision.
Quick throw in taken by Oklahoma City. Here's Kyle Highland. Back to Covarrubias. We mentioned the late addition to this Energy lineup. Meanwhile, that ball could cause some problems in the end as Colton Storm just a little late to react. Perhaps thought that ball was going to drift back to the keeper, and the wind might manage to knock it back. And good defending from Colton Storm. Meanwhile, Highland bring it forward on the left side for Oklahoma City. Nice shape to that ball, just trying to whip it around the back line. Hernandez can't clear. Highland regains control. It's a bit of spell of possession for Oklahoma City, who, of course, made their own run in the playoffs after there's an offside flag. Jose Barril just straying into an offside position. But the Energy falling in the playoffs to Vancouver Whitecaps 2 after finishing last season in seventh place in the Western Conference.
Yeah, they started off strong, but they just couldn't seem to score any goals at the end of the year.
Well, here come the Rangers through Juan Camel looking inside. Duke gets it stolen away. Covarrubias trying to lead a break. He's looking for a big diagonal pass, just can't quite get the direction on it. Kevin Ellis smartly back to his keeper.
Yeah, that's just a veteran play by Kevin Ellis. A lot of experience playing with Sporting Kansas City, so that was probably a very easy decision for him to make.
63 games for the MLS side. There's another whistle. And a couple fouls in the past couple minutes. Game starting to pick up in intensity. Referee John Freeman just wants to call Wojciech over and calm the situation down. "12 minutes gone, still scoreless here in Kansas City, Missouri. That ball just a little too far for Juan Camel from Ellis. Covarrubias was there on the cover and does really well in midfield to evade a double team. Good bit of skill from Barril. Tough pass to handle, but nicely done by Wojciech, and he's driving forward on the left foot. Just can't quite direct it on frame, but you can see the type of danger the front man for the Energy possesses. Big 6'4" target man up front for the Energy. Hernandez just a little too clever in midfield, and his eagerness to get back on the ball. I think he's called for a foul there. Will go against the youngster for the Rangers. And is it maybe a case there of giving up that foul as opposed to giving up a counterattack could possibly not be the worst decision for Felipe Hernandez. Combination play, first time cross is a dangerous one, well covered. Dakota Barnathan and tracked the run all the way from Alex Dixon. Looking for the ball over the top. Shallowy could get in behind here, touches it around the keeper, and the keeper clatters into Daniel Shallowy. Big decision here for the referee. Yellow card for Cody Lorendi. First in the books for John Freeman, and And really had no choice there. Daniel Shallowy was away.
It started with Barnathan just getting was able to slip that pass right through the middle, and then the long ball to Daniel Shallowy. He was definitely in on goal, so good decision from the ref.
Perhaps the defender tracking back is what leads to a yellow card instead of a red card there. But meanwhile, Cody Lorendi, I think he'll give that one up as Daniel Shallowy had touched the ball around him. So instead it will be a free kick from a similar position as the earlier free kick for Felipe Hernandez. Go for goal this time and just can't keep that one down. So crisis averted from Oklahoma City, but it's a simple ball over the top. Daniel Shallowy getting in behind that causes the danger and causes the yellow card to the keeper.
Interesting to see Hernandez, the 18-year-old, being in charge of set pieces tonight. I think obviously he'd probably want that one back.
Just puts it over the crossbar, but you're right, Molly. Big duties for a player in his first professional game. It's a nice bit of build-up there, but just straying offside, Philip Rasmussen. Energy trying to work it through the middle there. Here's Juan Kuzain Wankamo, the other of the youngsters in midfield for the Rangers, both of whom have represented the USA at youth levels, including Wankamo, U17 team a couple years ago. It's given it away in midfield, though. Here comes Baril. Wide right with Dixon. Dixon to Dixon, back to Dixon. Inside for Dixon. That cross is deflected. Kind of a tough one for Adrian Zendejas. He does well in the end, though. Then a nice, clever turn from Latif Blessing. Earns the foul. Take a look at this cross here. Deflected, Molly. It's a tough one for the goalkeeper to deal with.
Yeah, but that's a great recovery run as well by Daniel Shallowy, because he's playing all the way up on the wing, but he makes sure to get all the way back into that defensive area.
Did well to block the cross, and in the end, Zendejas was able to pounce on it just ahead of the Oklahoma City Energy player, but it's a good combination between the Dixons for Oklahoma City. Here's Shallowy pumping it forward. Parker Marr, his first game with the Rangers. Getting past one defender, tries to get a cross away. It's slid and blocked out of bounds for a corner. Good piece of defending, but it's a good piece of attacking from the left back for the Rangers, Parker Marr.
I know we're only 18 minutes in, but this really is starting to resemble Sporting Kansas City, getting those outside backs all the way forward like that.
So it leads to this corner kick. Hernandez will take again. Big boys all in the box for the Rangers. Everyone back defending for the Energy. And towards the near post and just a high boot there. Kevin Ellis trying to make a play. Just sticks his foot up towards the face of the defender. Pretty easy call there for John Freeman. So Cody Lorendi will take this goal kick. Moments ago, the perhaps biggest play of the game so far. Stopping the breakaway from Daniel Shallowy. Well won in the air. Towering leap. And now the Energy can get forward. Gonzalez trying to slide it through with the left. Blocked away, and then a good job from Storm to clear that out for a throw-in instead of a corner kick.
But we do remember that Kyle Highland does have that long throw into the box.
Here is that long throw on full display. Nicely lost in the box, and so Dixon has a go, blocked away. Big time block from Parker Marr as Dixon really wound up. And now counterattack is on here. Blessing trying to get forward. He's got a man on the far side if he can see him. He picks out a pass, just deflected away. Last ditch defending from Oklahoma City. Latif Blessing couldn't quite play it in behind.
It was a good idea by Blessing. He is so fast. You might want to see him take that one down the line a little bit further before cutting it back or playing it just a little bit sooner.
Perhaps caught in between two minds there. Meanwhile, good little juke move from Storm. Slid cross right along the penalty spot. Bouncing around, and Rasmussen finally able to find the feet of Dixon. Dixon calmly under pressure. Plays it back to Highland. Oklahoma City will try and push out. Just heading into the 21st minute here. Still scoreless, but game starting to open up a little bit here. Good pass in between the lines, Dixon, and just a miscommunication along the front lines. Duke finds Shallowy. Cutting inside, trying to just shape that ball into the run of Colton Storm. He's done a great job to keep it in play. Storm, little step over, defended well and away by Highland. Dixon now, try and spring the counterattack. Miguel Gonzalez. He's got Latif Blessing tracking all the way back from his forward position. Gets a round of applause from the crowd here at Children's Mercy Victory Field for his attack, or excuse me, his work in the defensive end. Latif Blessing there. Still, Swope Park Rangers with possession after Blessing wins it back. Juan Camo just trying to fizz it into the feet of Hernandez. That's a tough one to take. All the way back to Cody Lorendi. Franchise record 12 clean sheets for Lorendi last season. Blast that one up. Always a good option to find Wojciech ahead of the 6'4" target forward, and that will lead to a throw in here on the attacking end for the Energy. Wojciech just snuck in behind the defense there, trying to find a ball on the edge of the area. Found Baril, clever little ball through the middle. Rasmussen there, and an open net. It hits the post. Somehow it stays out. Oklahoma City still with the ball in the box. Cuts it back, edge of the area, and a sliding challenge from Christian Duke. And somehow this game is still 0-0.
That's a cheeky little pass in behind the Swope Park Rangers back line, but that's pretty wide open on the rebound right there.
Miguel Gonzalez had the net beckoning, just couldn't put it on frame. An empty net, as you mentioned, Molly. That clever little pass from Jose Baril that really unlocked the defense. Rasmussen there to try and slide it past. Zendejas did well to get off his line, but somehow Miguel Gonzalez hits the post when it should be 1-0. Energy now with a corner kick. Great delivery, and it's a great goal. Cody Andrews with an absolute bullet header from a wonderful set piece. And the Oklahoma City Energy go up 1-0. Molly Dreska, what a wonderfully executed set piece here, the delivery and the header.
Cody Andrews, a Kansas City guy, actually. That's a pretty good way to stay on top of it and get it on frame. Adrian Zendejas gets a fingertips on it, but just not enough.
Just too powerful from the header. Cody Andrews coming back to friendly territory. And the Kansas City Kid, as Molly Dreska just said, puts the away side up 1-0. And how about that run in the box to lose his marker as well? Basically unmarked to really be able to get his whole power of his neck behind that header. And so the Energy not dismayed by the missed chance from Miguel Gonzalez. Keep the attack on and score through a set piece situation. So the Rangers, who won 5 games in a row at the end of the season at home here to really spark their run into the playoffs, now trail 1-0 in the inaugural game of the 2017 season. Blessing trying to run forward past 2 defenders and just tugged down from behind Latif Blessing. Big time future. Sporting Kansas City coaches hope for Latif Blessing, signed in the offseason from the Ghanaian Premier League. Short restart from the Rangers, and they will start and try and build it from the back. Parker Maher. Back now with Barnathan. Juan Camo. Belmar is dropped deep to pick up possession. He finds Maher. Now Juan Camo trying to dribble past a defender, and perhaps a bit of a forwards challenge there from Wojciech. But Molly, there's another kid they're excited about. Juan Kuzane, Juan Camo. He picks up the foul here. Meanwhile, Hernandez on the quick restart has found Colton Storm over on the right-hand side. Hernandez trying to work a 1-2 with Blessing. Good ball out for Storm. His low cross deflected, and it's a double tip there. Colton Storm not aware to it, but I think that's good refereeing from the assistant. Managed to spot that the ball did come off Colton Storm after initially being blocked away. There's Storm defending that throw in. And 14th overall picked in this year's draft, Colton Storm. Molly played a lot of games for North Carolina.
Yeah, he actually, along with several players out there tonight, were with Sporting Kansas City for the first phase of preseason. Obviously, Colton was there the whole time since he is signed by Sporting KC. One of the things that he did so good during preseason was whipping in crosses, a low-driven cross to the near post. We haven't seen it yet tonight, but it's something I think we should look forward to him bringing to the game.
See, he's certainly tried to get down that right-hand side, has Colton Storm. Started 41 straight games for the Tar Heels, so it's a guy that played a lot for a big-time program and captained the team as a senior. Here he is again on the ball. Rangers trailing 1-0. As Hernandez carries it over the halfway line. Oklahoma City happy to sit in now with that 1-0 lead. Little slide pass for Blessing. Can he keep it in? Yes. Fizz the cross. Still alive. And what a challenge in the back. Looked like Richard Dixon just stepping ahead of Carlton Belmar. And now a ball over the top. You can see the speed. Alex Dixon running onto it. He's picked out a good pass for Rasmussen. Edge of the area. Rasmussen blocked away. Corner kick for the Energy. And it's end-to-end stuff, Molly. Let's take a look at the other end where Swope Park Rangers had a great chance at equalizing.
That one-touch pass by Storm is such a good decision. It's hard to do, to slide it down the end line with the perfect pace. Latif Blessing's able to get on the end of it before it rolls out of bounds for a corner kick. And we just couldn't put away the finish.
Looked like a heroic block from Richard Dixon there as Belmar looks certain to score. Meanwhile, directly up the other end, it's long bursting run from Alex Dixon. And Rasmussen's shot is blocked away for this corner kick. Of course, the Energy scored on their last corner kick. Here comes another great delivery. Just a little bit of a touch from Parker Maher. Able to be enough to clear the area of danger for now. Highland whipped that ball in, and this one goes out of bounds. Parker Maher will come over to take this throw in. There's Maher, finds a nice ball for Shallowy. loses out in that one-on-one duel. Baril did really nicely to just duck in and take away possession from the Hungarian. There's a good pocket of space there. Rasmussen seems to be growing into this game. Nice little 1-2 on the right-hand side. Dixon, he's found a great ball. Blocked again. Barnathan there to stop the chance, this time from Miguel Gonzalez. See there, Dixon with the cross, and again, a great chance for Gonzalez.
We talked about Dixon's speed earlier, and I think you saw it a little bit on that play, able to get the cross off before it was blocked.
Dixon really has started to grow into this game, become more and more of a factor. Another corner kick for the Energy. It's been good deliveries from this far side from Jose Baril so far. He'll try his outswing and delivery once more. It's into over a half an hour played. Up towards the 6. This time defended really well by Christian Duke, and he wears a foul as well. Swope Park Rangers get a free kick in their own area.
There's a lot of height on this Oklahoma Energy team, so I think that the Swope Park Rangers are going to have to try to limit the corner kicks that they're giving.
Certainly have already scored off one set piece tonight. You saw that height on full display. 6'2" Cody Andrews thumping his header into the back of the net. That's the difference so far. 1-0, Oklahoma City on top. And providing some good press here as the Rangers trying to emulate the style, as we talked about, of their parent club, Sporting Kansas City, trying to hold on to possession. It's a hopeful ball over the top from Marr, who tries to give chase, but well patrolled in the back, and now Wojciech Wuczek just coming back from an offside position. Storm back to Ellis. Did play a few games for the Rangers last season, Kevin Ellis. Second ever homegrown signing for Sporting Kansas City. He's lofted cross up for Belmar. Causes a bit of havoc in the Energy box, and it's thumped away. Now the Rangers will build from the back again. Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit nikesoccer.com. Baril picks the pocket, and now going forward, trying to find the overlapping run of Gonzalez. Really well defended by Storm. Quick restart, and then Christian Duke slows it down. Rangers just patiently building, and Oklahoma City is going to allow them to maintain possession deep inside their own half with that 1-0 lead. Blessing dancing around one defender, attracts the attentions of another. Duke now urging Hernandez forward. It's a good ball. Colton Storm fizzing a shot. Just couldn't quite get around on it in time.
It's not a horrible idea by Storm. I just think he mishits that one a little bit.
Talked about his ability to get forward, and like you said, Molly, just a bit of a mishit there.
And that play all started with Latif Blessing. I know it hasn't translated into anything tangible just yet, but I think you could already see exactly what he's going to bring this year.
Bit of trickery on the ball. Ghanaian Premier League Player of the Season last year, as he was the league's top scorer. That's what attracted the attention of Sporting Kansas City. They loaned him out this week to the Rangers.
Energy coach Jimmy Nielsen noticed Latif Blessing as well.
Ball over the top. Just managed to keep it in play. Duke now and Hernandez in midfield. It's a poor giveaway, though. And the Energy looking to, again, spring forward on the counter. Baril, second team all USL last season with Harrisburg City. We mentioned him, Molly. Jimmy Nielsen, the coach of the Energy, did pick out a few players on this Swope Park Rangers team, and Latif Blessing was one of them.
He actually said before the game this morning that he saw Latif Blessing go into the game against FC Dallas and was like, who is that kid? And just was hopeful that he wasn't one of the guys that Sporting Kansas City was going to drop down for tonight's match.
Well, his hopes did not come true as Blessing is down. They've done a good job to this point. And now a foul. Late challenge from Parker Marr, perhaps Christian Duke. Will be a foul and a set-piece opportunity for the Energy, who have done a good job so far on Blessing. A few little pockets of space, and let's take a look at this foul. Just off screen there, right at the top, well behind the play.
Can't quite tell if he clips his foot or not, if Christian Duke clips his foot or not.
So it's a foul well after the ball had gone. Another opportunity for the Energy to test this Swope Park Rangers set-piece defense. And this man, Baril, 6 assists last season. He's already got his first of this season. See the type of set-piece delivery he provides. Again with his right foot in towards the spot. Headed away by Barnathan. Back now, Highland. Nice little switch. Finds the feet of Rasmussen on the far side. There's a deflected cross, and Oklahoma City has numbers poured forward, so perhaps a counterattacking opportunity for the Rangers, but well broken up. Richard Dixon snuffed that one out right off the toes of Daniel Shallow. .38th minute, still 1-0 to the Energy, who really caused problems on the counterattack all night long. Here they are with the spell of the ball. Ellis jumping forward to win that header. And the loose ball will go all the way back to Barnathan. It's a bit of a heavy touch back to Adrian Zendejas, seeing if he's paying attention. Well handled by the number 1 for the Rangers. Now Ellis will switch play to Dakota Barnathan, who came out of Virginia Commonwealth. Was drafted by FC Dallas in the 3rd round of this year's Super Draft, and now bit of a miscommunication perhaps between Belmar and Storm.
Again, like you mentioned earlier, Belmar has been dropping in quite deep to find the ball at his feet.
Here he is again, dropping into midfield. Just couldn't pick the pass for the overlapping right back. Nice little flick. Gonzalez is met with a physical challenge from Kevin Ellis. Now back with Kevin Ellis. Clips it over to Parker Marr, another new addition to the Swope Park Rangers side. He's playing it forward. Running the box from Hernandez. Can he find the cutback? He does. Defended away right at the last second. Nicely done in the back line from Oklahoma City as Latif Blessing was ready to pounce. Some physical play in midfield, nothing given by the referee. And now a very loose pass from Daniel Shallowy. Salas plays it back, and Oklahoma City now will try and build from the back.
That opportunity for Swope Park, so much a product of Parker Marr's first touch. He took a long touch into space, which opened up the field ahead of him so that he could get that cross off into the box.
You mentioned it, Molly. We've seen those fullbacks trying to get forward for the Rangers. And will it be a case of now that the Energy are defending that lead, there'll be more and more space for the fullbacks to get forward? We'll have to find out an answer to that question. Meanwhile, it's a foul from the Energy. The Rangers been looking to start things quickly for the most part.
There's a little bit of a two-hand shove right there. I think that's a good call.
Rangers do quickly start things again. Here comes Blessing cutting inside. Defended by Highland. He goes down. Nothing given by the referee. Didn't really see a whole lot of appeals from the players, Molly, just the crowd.
I wouldn't mind seeing another look at that play.
Blessing just trying to ease his way past a couple defenders, and it was a decision for the referee.
I think he does go down a little bit soft.
So Blessing just trying to get past a couple defenders, goes down, nothing given. Here he is laying it off for Parker Marr. Nice little step over move. Marr in the area, finds a nice ball, and it's turned home. Carlton Belmar on his SPR debut has equalized. It's 1-1 to the Rangers.
Again, it's Parker Marr with that great first touch, an early look into the box, and just like Jimmy Nielsen said, Belmar's going to be a handful tonight.
And it's excellent work down this left-hand side. You were just hyping him up, Molly, about his ability to get forward, and Parker Marr creates that goal from his left back position.
And that's a clinical finish by Belmar as well, able to just get it into that side netting, stay on top of it.
So his first goal of the season, the first goal for the Rangers. And it's 1-1 here, and just before halftime as well. What about the timing of that goal?
It is good to go into halftime after you've tied it up. Never want to go into halftime losing.
Does that change the team talk at all for Nikola Popovic as they head into the halftime break?
The energy might be a little bit more positive, but I don't think it's going to change what Nikola Popovic says just too much.
It's a big goal to level things up just before the halftime break. Carlton Belmar from Parker Marr. Fans, make sure you tune in to the USL's weekly show on Sirius XM FC Channel 85 on Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern for the latest news and information from around the league. Also, don't forget, Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Make sure to check online for dates and times to those games. Play on, says the referee, as Juan Kamal goes down in the center circle. Here's Juan Kamal picking up possession, driving forward. Blessing just getting a few touches on the ball here. He's developing a nice little rapport with Colton Storm out wide right. Duke back to Storm, defended away. Be a throw in for the Rangers deep in their attacking half. Blessing trying to slide it through, well defended. Baril just managed to see that out of the corner of his eye. Lorendi with a huge kick up the field. Second ball won by the Energy. Good tackle by Juan Combo, but it bounces free to Richard Dixon. And Dixon didn't like the challenge there from Belmar. Foul is given. Richard Dixon, who was an interesting battle with Parker Marr this week as they both played for St. Louis last season. Right back and left back. This time it was him up against the winger. Energy restarting things, and lovely little scoop pass from Highland. It's Cody Andrews all the way up in attacking territory. Juan Combo has found an excellent ball over the top. Shallowy trying to stretch his legs and get in behind the defense. Still Shallowy, but well covered in the end by Mickey Daly. Cleared away by Lorendi, but what a wonderful ball there from Juan Combo.
Very, very good vision.
Let's see, 1 minute being added in this first half. Been a pretty free-flowing game, and 1-1 score. We're into that minute of extra time. Here's a mishit ball there. Look, you can see Alex Dixon clapping his hands and looking at the turf as it just didn't come off for him there. It's a quick restart from the Rangers as clock ticks down here in the first half. Poor giveaway, Hernandez. And now a bad tackle as well, and he'll go into the notebook right at the end of the first half. Rangers trying to spring one last attack, and it's a poor giveaway, and he winds up in the referee's pocketbook.
I think you have to with a play like that.
And that's the referee's whistle. It won't allow the free kick to be taken. Just go to halftime now. Oklahoma City started things off with a bang. Towering header from Cody Andrews put them up 1-0 until just before halftime. Swope Park Rangers get a goal back through Carlton Belmar off the foot of Parker Marr. So we'll go into the halftime interval with the score 1-1. Be right back with you at halftime for the halftime highlights. Welcome back. It's halftime here in Kansas City, Missouri. Score between the Swope Park Rangers and Oklahoma City Energy tied up at 1. I'm Carter Augustine, joined by Molly Dreska. And Molly, what'd you make of that first half?
I think Popovich will be pretty proud with the team's performance. The high press is looking great. The possession, I think, could still use a little work.
Let's take a look at some of the top moments from that first half, those first half highlights. As Swope Park Rangers and Oklahoma City, there was an early chance there for Felipe Hernandez, who starts in midfield. And it was a physical battle in midfield throughout that first half, as perhaps some first game jitters as well for these players in the first game of the 2017 season. Take a look here at a big chance for the Rangers as Lessing managed to get his cross. We saw him and Storm on the right-hand side quite often. And there's the goal, the opener, and what a great set-piece delivery from Jose Barril. Meanwhile, Cody Andrews was the Kansas City kid on the end of that set piece, and he scores the go-ahead goal. A little bit more from Colton Storm as well, but here's the equalizing goal for the Rangers, and what a nice goal from Carlton Belmar.
Absolutely. I think another thing the Rangers are doing really well in that first half was getting down the wings and then playing it back across. Another thing that definitely resembles Sporting Kansas City style of play.
We saw it there with the overlap from Parker Marr. He has created that equalizing goal, and let's take a look at some halftime stats here. And you can see there that Swope Park Rangers controlling the majority of possession, perhaps a change in style from what they did last season. 63% almost in possession in that first half.
I think that they definitely did good on possession, but I think the bar is going to be set high here for this year, and they gave the ball away a few times in the midfield that I think they'd want back in those critical areas. But definitely that possession style that they talked about is definitely happening tonight.
Meanwhile, 5 corners for the visitors, Oklahoma City, and of course they scored on one of those corners. You talked about during that first half, perhaps trying to limit the amount of set-piece opportunities for the Energy, as they do have some big boys that can get forward.
There's just so much height on that roster this season, and they've proven that they can score goals. I think 2 years ago they scored a lot, and I think last year they struggled with that to bring to the team this year, and obviously got a goal in the first game, so not too bad.
Strong start for the Energy, and it was, of course, equalized by the Swope Park Rangers. So here's the halftime stats. Stick with us, as we'll be back in a minute to bring you the second half kickoff here from Swope Soccer Village. Halftime score, Swope Park Rangers 1, Oklahoma City Energy FC 1.
Raise the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars, innovative technology, and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
I'm TJ Reeves. It's opening weekend, and we have President Jake Edwards with us to talk about the beginning of the 2017 season. Jake, welcome. It's only been a few months since the USL Cup was raised in New York. Very busy off-season. One of your biggest stories, though, is elevation to Division II status. Tell us more about the importance of that.
Yeah, thanks, TJ. It's been a very busy off-season, as you said. Short off-season that gets shorter every year. A lot of good things happening. One of the big stories in the off-season was the sanctioning of the USL as Division II. This is a major component of a long-term strategic plan called Destination 2020. We embarked on this a little over 4 years ago. And a component of that was raising the level of operation and sophistication of the USL as a league and as the whole enterprise, working with all the clubs to make sure we have the right ownership, we have the right facilities, we have a sufficient level of operation at each club, and build it so that it has to be as good as or better as a second division level.
2017 is also another productive year for expansion. You're bringing 3 new expansion teams in this season, as well as several new ownership groups with existing teams. What is the overall league strategy on expansion, and will we see more of it soon?
We will. So we are expanding always with a national focus, but looking how we regionalize the competition.
We have several new stadiums opening this season. I know that has been a big goal of the United Soccer League.
It's a huge initiative for us. It's been a game changer for a number of other leagues when they focused on improving the quality of the buildings. For us, it's about delivering an authentic match day experience for the fan and providing the players a very professional environment to play in.
As you start this season, it is opening weekend. The competition level is getting stronger. You have an influx of young, talented players from the United States and other places, also veteran players that you're bringing back. How do you feel about the level of competition as this season begins?
I would say this is probably going to be the most challenging season for the teams to compete in this league. We've got a really exciting blend of talent in our league now. We've got some world-class players coming in, players like Joe Cole here in Tampa, Omar Bravo, legend out of the Mexican team playing for our team in Phoenix, Sean Wright-Phillips also. So we've got players that have played in the Premier League and in the international levels. We've got a core group of professionals, of veterans that have played in the MLS, USL, overseas. We've got 70 players now in the league that play for full senior international squads. So we've got a good base of really high quality and in some cases world-class talent, but we've got this really exciting group of young players who are going to be the next superstars of the national teams or of MLS, let's say, in the future.
Jake, thanks very much. Good luck with the start to the season. If you want to see the complete interview, you can go to uslsoccer.com. The season underway. Thanks for being with us.
Johnny. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Have fun. Have fun. Enjoy it. Go to work.
But Veilhaber cuts it back to his left, and he pushes the shot wide.
The fans are certainly staying in this game, mate. You can hear them absolutely vociferous down the cauldron end.
It's Veilhaber. And it's Veilhaber! And the top will come off of this place. On to Churso. Now Sunisad, he can pull the trigger. It takes a deflection. And it rolls right through the legs of Bingham and into the back of the net. Now this one falls into the box and it's into the back of the net. Deflected shot punched away by Melia, who might have just preserved the 3 points.
Welcome back to Kansas City, Missouri. Halftime just about over here at the Swope Soccer Village. Beautiful Children's Mercy Victory Field. The halftime score still deadlocked at 1 apiece between the defending Western Conference champions, the Swope Park Rangers, and Oklahoma City Energy FC. There's a new but familiar face on the bench for the Rangers this season, Molly Dreska, as we take a look at Paulo Nagamura, retired with Sporting Kansas City and joining the Rangers backroom staff.
He also was with Jimmy Nielsen in 2013 when Sporting KC won that MLS Cup. Sporting Kansas City also honored Paulo Nagamura at their game most recently.
So perhaps some friendly banter between Nagamura and Nielsen before this game got underway. Molly, a pretty feisty first half from this first game for both teams this season. What does each team need to do to come away victorious in the second half?
I think for the Swope Park Rangers, they're going to need to find a way to turn all of this possession into goal-scoring opportunities. Kuzane's doing a good job playing the ball from side to side. Now, how can they get forward more often?
Meanwhile, for the visitors, Oklahoma City, who chopped their way back onto the pitch from the locker room, what do they need to do in this second half period to try and come away with all 3 points?
I think what they did in the first half, they have all of those tall players, especially in the attacking third. If they could get on the end of more crosses or corner kicks like they had in the first half.
So the Rangers will do their best to try and limit the chances from those set-piece opportunities. There's the goal scorer, Cody Andrews, two-time All-State at Mill Valley High School here in the KC area. Played at UMKC.
Yeah, he actually had a pretty interesting path in his professional career as well. He actually started soccer when he was about 16 years old. He started club soccer at the age of 16, and then he also played for the Kansas City Comets, and I think he talks about one thing that he contributes his soccer success to currently is playing with that indoor team and getting so many touches on the ball in such small spaces.
Interesting backstory. Of course, coming home today, able to get on the score sheet. See the players huddled there as it's a beautiful night here in Kansas City. The rain earlier today, but it's held off so far this evening. Chilly night, but decent weather for the first game of the season. It's a nice crowd here too, as big-time sports weekend. Of course, USA played yesterday, and March Madness still going on, and Sweet 16 and Elite 8 here in Kansas City. We still get a good crowd out for the Swope Park Rangers as they start his second half with the ball going from right to left.
That's right, and speaking of the U.S. game last night, Bruce is back. It's the new era.
Big time, 6-0 thrashing of Honduras to get the USA back on track in hexagonal qualifying.
Yeah, and there was a lot of familiar faces in that game as well, obviously, with Sporting Kansas City's Roger Espinoza playing for Honduras, and then Graham Zusi entering as a second-half substitute for the United States. But one that people might have not realized was actually a former Swope Park Ranger in Ever Alvarado, Honduras' outside left back.
Meanwhile, here come the Rangers. A nice little opportunity. Floated to the back post. Latif Blessing, of all people, trying to rise highest. Just can't quite get over the ball and direct his header on frame. Great opportunity for the Rangers early on in this second half.
And there it is again, getting down the flank and sending the ball into the box. I think that's a hard ball to deal with, obviously, especially for a guy like Latif Blessing. Like you said, he's a little bit shorter, but if you could maybe slot that ball on the ground or low and driven.
There's a bad challenge in midfield from Philip Rasmussen. Crunching challenge on Kuzain Wankamel. And it will be a yellow card for the Dane. New addition to Jimmy Nielsen's side. And yeah, that's a dangerous looking challenge from Rasmussen.
Looks pretty rough. You could see why the players are approaching the referee like that.
Ladies and gentlemen, a yellow card caution has been issued to
Goes into the book.
number 7.
Philip Rasmussen, signed from Lyngby in the Danish Super League. Made nearly 150 appearances in Denmark in his time over there. Still trying to sort out this dead ball situation, and finally referee blows a whistle and we can get things restarted again. Storm has the ball nipped off his feet by Miguel Gonzalez. Out of play, and before those chances, Molly, we just briefly mentioned a former Swope Park Ranger in that international game for Honduras, Ever Alvarado.
Yeah, Alvarado actually played a pretty big role in Swope Park's run through the playoffs last year. And I think he's known for being a pretty aggressive, hard-nosed, and sometimes reckless player. Last night, he was actually the guy that took down Sebastian Leggett, got a yellow card on the play, and obviously Leggett had to come out of the game after that play.
His spot now is Marr, who has done a good job getting forward from the left back position in the first half. Ball intercepted there. Dixon back with Daly. Covarrubias dropping almost in between the center halves. Rendi with that flat delivery from his left foot. Goes all the way back to Adrian Zendejas. Just playing it around the back are the Rangers, as early into this second half, still tied at 1 apiece. There's Richard Dixon, managing to step right in front of Christian Duke. His ball stays in play. Barnathan will take the simple route back with Adrian Zendejas. Earned his way up to a full senior contract with Sporting Kansas City after his wonderful performances for the Rangers down the stretch last season.
Actually, when Zendejas joined the team in June of last year, the Swope Park Rangers did not lose a game that he played in until the USL Cup final.
An impressive record for Zendejas as he picks up the ball now. Went on heck of a run there. 8 straight games for SPR on the way to the USL Cup final. Spent his youth for Club Tijuana in Mexico. Got a bunch of games for their U20s. Still just 21 years old, so a bright future for Adrian Zendejas as he earns his way into an MLS contract, and now again playing with the Rangers. There's a tough back pass for Lorendi on his right foot, just trying to stand it up for his right back Dixon. It's a tough back pass for a goalkeeper to handle.
Another difference between these two teams, Swope Park Rangers is quite a bit younger than Oklahoma Energy FC.
Energy, vastly experienced, as you mentioned, several players over the age of 25. In fact, just the two forwards under the age of 25 for Oklahoma City, which is much different from this youthful team for the Rangers. Blessing with a nice little slipped pass inside. Hernandez in the area. His cross deflected. Shallow, he goes for the bike. Can't connect, and Energy will try and spring a counter. Wojciech, nicely done. Ball over the top, looking for Dixon, is easily intercepted by Marr. Let's take a look at that wonderful opportunity for the Rangers just moments ago.
Again, coming wide to go inside. Daniel Shallowy just misjudged that just a little bit on that
Just a little
attempted
bit.
bicycle kick.
Can't blame him for trying for the spectacular, I guess. Didn't come off in that particular instance. Now here's a ball from Barnathan trying to find the run of Marr. Here comes the high press from the Rangers. Covarrubias gives it away under that pressure. Belmar just trying to maintain possession. Pass out for Blessing. Cuts inside, regains possession. His pass deflected away. Baril can go now for the Energy. Not much in support as the Rangers are able to get defenders back, and in the end, it'll just be a throw in for the Energy, as it's good defending there from the orange shirts, getting numbers behind the ball. Long throw, Rasmussen looking to knot it down. Good little switch of play from Kevin Ellis. Juan Kamal just gets that pass away. In the end, though, it's a little too intricate at the back. Just hacked clear by Barnathan. Andrews stepping through. Belmar, who still prone on the ground, as he wore the worst of that challenge.
It's a good step by Mickey Daly, though, to win that ball for Oklahoma Energy FC.
There's Belmar, the goal scorer for Swope Park Rangers. Still down after this challenge. Just caught the back end of it there, but as you mentioned, it was Mickey Daly actually coming through and did well to read the ball. It's a tough one for Carlton Belmar to wear, but just 3 goals last season in 25 games for Portland too, and he's already got 1 under his belt for the Swope Park Rangers. So the play back underway here as it's a quick drop ball for the injury, and Belmar doesn't even have to go off the pitch. Now he'll get a ball fizzed into his feet. It's taken really well by Belmar. Just can't quite find something after he was able to maintain possession. Take a look here. Perhaps just a few too many touches on the ball.
I think so. I do like how Belmar has been coming back to get the ball. If the ball's not getting to him, he's been coming back into the midfield to pick it up, kind of similar to the way Dom Dwyer does for Sporting Kansas City.
Strong first showing for Carlton Belmar in his Swope Park Rangers debut. Covarrubias with a really nice raking crossfield pass. Highland trying to deliver it across to the back stick. Just gets that all wrong and will lead to the first substitution of the game. Looks like Lebo Maloto will come in, making his Swope Park Rangers debut. Played 27 games for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds last season, Molly, and it's a change that Nikola Popovic was hoping to make here in the second half of this game.
Yep, at training this week, they were practicing and having him come in off the bench, so this was definitely an expected movement by Nikola Popovic.
Perhaps a case of all that possession in the first half and in this first 60 minutes for the Rangers, and now there could be some openings in that attacking third area for Lebo Maloto to do his magic.
You know, I think Nikola Popovic actually talked about, having the game slow down a little bit and then bringing him in off the bench because he's a very technical player after the game slowed down a little bit.
So we'll see how Maloto can get involved into this game, the first substitution of the game. Long throw headed back well by Wojcik. Just half cleared, and now a ball on the right-hand side for Dixon. His cross into the box. No one was there challenging for the energy. It's an easy take for Zendejas. Fight in midfield. Shallowy with a nice little V-turn to get around the defender. Juan Kamal just keeps possession through Ellis. Ellis looking for the run of Shallowy, but well marshaled in the back. Good defending from Richard Dixon. It's a mishit from Lorendi, or maybe it wasn't. Finds the feet of Alex Dixon. Now inside in the area, it's a late challenge. Gonzalez down in the box, and the referee says it was a fair challenge. Crucial intervention there at the last second, as it looked like Miguel Gonzalez was going to get in behind. And now offside, and that'll give the Rangers a chance to breathe, as what a heroic tackle in the back. Kevin Ellis, the man of the hour.
Again, that's the experience from Ellis showing in the game.
Had to get that tackle 100% right, as Miguel Gonzalez had charged through the middle of the field. Zendejas sends his offside restart sailing out of bounds. Be a throw in for the Energy as we approach the hour mark here. It's a half hour to go. Things still all even. One apiece, as it was Cody Andrews who started the game off with his headed goal from a set piece. And then just before halftime, Carlton Belmar equalizing for the Rangers. Another long throw from Highland. Headed away by Ellis, and we'll see that again. Another long throw attempt in towards the near post. Flicked up into the air by Christian Duke. Still alive in the area for the Energy. Nicely defended by Maloto. We'll get another opportunity for a long throw here. Deep in the Rangers' defensive third. Nicely chested down, edge of the area. And it's a good hit as well. Simple stuff from the throw-in, but it leads to a chance for Oklahoma City.
I think with a long throw-in like that, there's two things you might look for. You throw it in to one of your taller teammates, and have them flick it on, or in this case, you lay it down for the attacking midfielder running onto it to get off a strike.
Looked like Baril was the man that was that attacking player running onto the layoff.
And it's hard when a ball is coming back towards you like that to be able to stay on top of it and get a clean hit, but I think Baril does a really good job there.
Just sent it over the crossbar, a couple inches farther south, and that would have been trouble for Zendejas. Here's a bit of loose play. Now Wojciech in the box, trying to turn on a defender. Still loose to the back post and overcooks the pass. Again, the energy getting in to the Swope Park Rangers box, and again, a chance goes begging. See the ball over the top there for Wojciech, and then
good turn by Wojciech, but he just needs to have a decision there. Is he going to lay it back or slot it down across? There was nobody really in the space that he was aiming for.
Loto now trying to thread it through. Crucial intervention in the back. Andrews snuffed that one out. His pass, however, not the best from the back line, and it's put his team under pressure again. Good tackle in midfield, Baril. Tackles flying around now. Shallowy gets one in, and that could lead to a chance for the Rangers. Shallowy in the area. Cuts it across! Blessing is there! The lone connection. Shallowy across to Blessing. He slams it home and gives the Rangers a 2-1 lead.
Two players we talked about entering this game. Daniel Shallowy gets down the flank and lays it back softly for Latif Blessing. I hope that celebration is something we could look forward to a few more times this year.
The run right at the penalty spot. Tucked away expertly by Latif Blessing. You see why he led the Ghanaian Premier League in goals last season with 17. He gets his first on American soil. The young Ghanaian has put Swope Park Rangers ahead 2-1. And what about the work there, Molly, from Daniel Shallowy, who takes the ball off a toe of defender and then does the rest himself?
I think he's the guy that we're going to have our eye out for this year, whether that's, again, with the first team or with Swope. Not really sure at this point of the season, but if he continues to do stuff like that, you might see him playing for Sporting Kansas City in the near future.
His dad made several appearances for their Hungarian national team in the 90s. He did score 4 goals and 3 assists in just 10 games for SPR last season. So Daniel Shallowy getting into the score sheet again with his assist on that goal, and it's put the Rangers ahead 2-1. There's a ball over the top. Belmar in behind. Ellis with a really nice pass as well. Belmar causing problems there. Does well to shield a defender and earn a corner kick. So the Rangers not resting on that 2-1 lead, going immediately right back after the energy back line.
I think that's something that we'll also see towards the end of this game. Can they sustain this pace for the full 90 minutes?
We saw the Rangers playing with a goal down on the scoreboard, and now they're playing with a goal advantage, and now a corner kick. Outswinger Ellis just got ahead to it, but it goes backwards for Barnathan. Marr now looking for a big time switch over to the right flank. Doesn't beat the defender. Blessing now gets past 2 defenders. Tries to find a cutback just behind Christian Duke. And a double tip out of bounds for the Rangers. Big time turnaround for the Rangers after conceding that first goal after just 24 minutes gone, and here we are in the 66th minute. Rangers have turned things around. And Molly, we talked about this change of style this year for the Rangers. in terms of the counterattacking style they played last season being transformed into a more possession-oriented. And does it help to have a 2-1 lead if you're keeping the ball and really trying to draw those teams out from away from their goal?
I think it always helps to have the lead in a game. But, yeah, I think the change is definitely welcomed because this will make it a lot easier for players on the Swope Park Rangers to be called up and play for the first team. And I think that's the point of this USL team. It's to bridge the gap between the academy and the first team.
See them developing this possession style as well in this second half. Ball in, Maloto. He's already made his presence felt since coming off the bench. Belmar, however, had just strayed offside. Fans, make sure you tune in to the USL's weekly show on SiriusXM FC, Channel 85, on Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern for the latest news and information from around the league. Also, don't forget, SiriusXM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Make sure to check online for the USL Game of the Week schedule. Meanwhile, Christian Duke is trying to slide past the defender there, and he's tripped up from behind. Ellis getting things started quickly. There's a ball forward. Can Blessing get on the edge of it? He does, and slots it back, trying to find Shallowy on the back post, and you saw the speed of Latif Blessing catching up with that through ball.
Again, that's what we can continue to look for Latif Blessing, that speed on the flank. And a good job by him, too, to play it early and not hold on to it too long.
First time cross to the back stick. Well defended by Dixon. He's conceded a corner. Quickly taken by Maloto. And for Juan Kamal. Get it back out to Mar. And their Energy will be able to push out from their box. Mar, nice little deke with the right foot. And nothing much coming from that set piece opportunity. Kevin Ellis joining Barnathan back in the back line as the Rangers just elect to play the ball around the back. Leads to this chance. Storm just a step or two offside, and actually Latif Blessing is holding his hand up there, perhaps acknowledging that he delayed the pass. That's always the battle, isn't it, Molly? Striker says the ball needs to come early. Passer says you need to hold your run. Lorendi now. The big boot forward. Rasmussen's pass is slack. He's able to get back on it after Mar was unable to slide away. And Shallowy's whistled for pulling back Dixon there. Kind of had a hand in the cookie jar type look on his face. As it looks like we're ready for a double substitution here. He's coming in. Get to see Coy Kraft joining the action here. He's coming onto the field for Miguel Gonzalez. So a big opportunity for Coy Kraft. We just saw a Sporting Kansas City loanee score on the other end, and now an FC Dallas loanee makes his way into the game. Big time potential for Coy Kraft. First thing he'll do is come into the game for this set piece, and it's a free kick going the other way. Meanwhile, the other substitution, Danny Koenig coming back into the game.
Leaving the game, number 28.
He's checked in for Wojciech Vucic.
He's replaced by number 21, Coy Kraft.
So a couple of attacking additions to the squad here from Jimmy Nielsen.
Yeah, the Coy Kraft loan was just announced earlier this week, and I think it's going to be something that he's going to try to get a lot of minutes playing with Oklahoma Energy FC to prepare him for that U20 World Cup coming up later this summer. And then Koenig's a guy that Jimmy Nielsen specifically mentioned when we spoke earlier today that 2 years ago, he was flying, scored a ton of goals in this league, but then last year, his production just wasn't as high. So something that Nielsen did was bring in a lot of attacking presence.
There's a great ball from Duke. Shalloway, first time! Expertly taken in the box. Daniel Shalloway adds a goal to his assist and puts SPR up 3-1.
And now that's back-to-back years that Shalloway has scored in the season opener.
What a welcome return to the Swope Park Rangers side as he set up the go-ahead goal just minutes ago, and what a nice goal there from Daniel Shalloway.
That's another clinical finish by the Swope Park Rangers with Shalloway just slotting it in side netting just like you're taught to do from a young age. But we also got to give credit to Christian Duke on that play. He's a guy that, believe it or not, played in the very first Sporting Kansas City Academy game back in 2007. He's from Overland Park, Kansas. So we've seen quite a bit of Christian Duke, and that work rate in there is always consistent, and then being able to find that pass in the final third is the icing on the cake.
Had just 1 assist last season, did Christian Duke, so already equaling his season tally. It's a nice little run from midfield, the captain. Now how will the Energy respond? Just a bit of a mistimed run there. Coy Craft coming in. Still perhaps trying to catch up to the speed of the game, just not on the right wavelength there with Jose Barril. There's Danny Koenig pressuring up top. Mentioned, Molly, 21 goals in 2015 for Danny Koenig.
Yeah, and so something that Jimmy Nielsen talked about was bringing in some more players that could participate in the games and attribute to the attack, because he just didn't feel there was enough competition on the team last season.
There's one of those players, Alex Dixon, trying to play it forward. Let's take a look at that goal again. Perhaps all the way back from midfield, you see a nice little entry pass from Dakota Barnathan that starts everything going.
And you know what? Barnathan's a guy that we haven't talked too much about tonight, but he's been having a fantastic game. Another guy that's 22 years old. So he's pretty young. He went to Virginia Commonwealth, and he was actually drafted by FC Dallas in the 3rd round, but he never signed, so the Swope Park Rangers were fortunate enough to pick him up.
It's an interesting one. Could have been playing for the visitors today had he signed on with FC Dallas. Of course, the affiliated club with Oklahoma City. Instead, he's playing for the home side, the team in orange, and what a nice through ball to split the lines and really send Christian Duke on his way.
Ladies and gentlemen, a substitution for Energy FC.
Meanwhile,
74th minute.
Jimmy Nielsen will take the time while Barril picks himself off the turf, as Luis Martinez will check into the game for Alejandro Covarrubias. Played in 11 games last season for the Energy, did Luis Martinez. Perhaps the best memory for the Energy from Luis Martinez last season had big-time assist in their playoff battle against Rio Grande Valley, and they'll be looking for some more production from him off the bench today. And meanwhile, the team have been called over to the Oklahoma City bench. An impromptu timeout perhaps here. It's an interesting one. That will allow for a substitution on the Swope Park Rangers side, as we see Omar Ballo making his first appearance of the season off the bench. Checking in for Kuzain Wankamel. What'd you make of Wankamel's first professional appearance for the Swope Park Rangers?
I think he did really good keeping the ball for the Swope Park Rangers, moving it side to side, and I think getting the ball to go forward will continue to come. It was a really great first performance from the 18-year-old.
So he goes to the bench, Omar Ballo, perhaps a more defensive-minded presence, and we already see a bit of a formation or personnel change as Omar Ballo will slot into that center back position and allow Dakota Barnathan to slide right up into midfield.
And you could see from his performance tonight, a lot of the passes he was making were just so unique in some ways for a center back to be making. So you could tell that he had some of that defensive mid in him, keeping possession and playing balls through the seams.
He's getting a shot in that position here as Swope Park Rangers try and kill this game off with a 3-1 lead. 75 minutes played in this game. Little flick over the top from Duke. Blessing trying to speed in there behind the back line. Just a hooked overhead clearance from Andrews. Now out of bounds on the far side, Belmar. Carlton Belmar, who scored the equalizer tonight for the Rangers. Quick restart. Here's Omar Ballo getting his first action, and it's not the best action he'll do this game. It's given away straight to the feet of Coy Kraft, but luckily for him, Colton Storm was alert to the danger. Dixon now trying to get past Ballo. You see the physicality of Omar Ballo just shrugging Dixon off the ball, and now an out pass finds Daniel Shalloway with acres of space to run into. Shalloway looking inside, tracking back. Nice work from Jose Barril. There's Ballo again, that physical presence in the back. Was a big factor in the run last season for SPR. He and Amir Djidic went 10-0-2 when they started together towards that late summer action. That's something we haven't talked about, Molly Dreska, is perhaps two starters for the Rangers missing in action today. Amir Djidic and Mark Anthony Gonzalez away on international duty with the Canadian youth international teams.
That's right. They actually had a game this morning, and Djidic went the full 90 minutes. Mark Anthony Gonzalez has a little bit of an injury, so he did not play in the game.
All the more impressive to start this season without the talents of Mark Anthony Gonzalez and Amir Djidic. Of course, Djidic was an all-league selection last year for the Rangers. Here's Koenig, sizing up Marr. Gets a little bit of space to get the cross away. Ballo just gets a toe to it. Now there's a good hit, shaping towards the far post, but Zendejas tracks it all the way. Good effort, though, from Alex Dixon.
That is a very good hit. He's able to stay on top of it and get it on frame.
Here he is with a nice touch. Ball over the top, and now tries to flick it over Zendejas. Great goalkeeping, though. Zendejas coming out quickly off his line, as it was a fantastic first touch from Alex Dixon there. And we've seen his speed cause some problems along that back line, but Zendejas up to the task there. Here, speaking of speed, it comes Latif Blessing inside the area, flicking it across Blessing, and a great goal line clearance to deny Latif Blessing or perhaps Daniel Shalloway from getting in, scoring the fourth there.
I think we'll be thinking this a lot this season. Just how did he get on the end of that ball? He starts on the other side of the defender, gets on the ball, and is able to even slot it across. Daniel Shalloway with a good effort, just can't connect.
It's great defending from Mickey Daly, just sliding across to play the ball off Shalloway. We see the pace again of Latif Blessing catching up to a pass didn't think he had any right to get onto. Nice little drag back from Belmar, and he plays it through to Duke. Daly again alert on the cover. It's been all over, has Mickey Daly. 34 games for Bethlehem Steel and the Carolina Railhawks last season.
He won an USL Cup with Sac Republic in 2014 as well. So you could see both him and Cody Andrews, obviously seasoned defenders, and have played really well tonight on that back line. in many instances.
There's the pass just astray in midfield from Martinez, looking for the run outside of Koenig, and just couldn't quite get the accuracy. There's Marr slicing his clearance out of bounds. And good to see Parker Marr back on the pitch. He made 22 appearances for St. Louis before suffering a groin injury, actually against Swope Park Rangers in August of last season, and missed the rest of the season. So good to see Parker Marr back in action, and a bit of a Missouri connection as well. Joplin native, played at Missouri State. Has an assist in his Swope Park Rangers debut. This game slowed down a little bit since the Rangers took that 3-1 lead. Energy, if they can get a goal here in the next few minutes, could try and make for a grandstand finish. Molly, just haven't quite seen the connection of the substitutes for the Energy coming into the pitch and being able to pick up on the speed of the game. There's a foul on the far side. Swope Park Rangers will take the free kick. Looked like Latif Blessing there causing some problems along that far side. Dejas waiting till the very last possible second. Clears it up to the halfway line. It's a nice pass from Ballo. And Barnathan just slaps that one out of bounds. Deep throw taken quickly by Dixon. Played out of bounds. It'll be another throw in deep into the attacking third for the Energy. This one's a long throw up in the box. Dixon has a hit. It's blocked away. Really important block in the area. We've seen that a few times from Rangers defenders. Here's a nice ball. Highland. Edge of the area. Blocked again. This time Barnathan gets the telltale block. And again, a few close chances in the area for Oklahoma City. But they come away with nothing. Some good defending from Swope Park Rangers. Intercepted from Marr. Duke finds an out ball. Maloto finds a nice ball over the top. Blessing in behind. He's one-on-one with Highland. Blessing now. Just going for the far post. Straight down the middle. Easy save for Lorendi in the end. A really quick counterattack there from the Swope Park Rangers.
That was Maloto, so it looks like he is finally making his way into the match. There's a good turn and ball to Latif.
Nicely weighted over the top from Lebo Maloto, the South African. Daly, that's a really tasty looking ball in behind the back line, and Luis Martinez just not quite reading the pass there. Take a look here at this effort from Latif Blessing.
You know, he's having a good game tonight. He was feeling that one. Every once in a while, you're going to take a shot from distance, so not a bad decision.
Looked like he got his head up and tried to survey his options on offense. Just didn't have a whole lot in terms of teammates to pass it to. So break in action will allow for another substitution for Swope Park Rangers, and Natsel Selbel will check in for Carlton Belmar. And Molly, what'd you make of Carlton Belmar in his first game for the Swope Park Rangers this evening?
I think Belmar did exactly what he was supposed to do. Obviously, getting on the score sheet's always a bonus, but you could really see his work ethic in the attacking third really helped to start the high press system.
Nicely shown today from Carlton Belmar, and he's replaced by Natsel Selbel, another SKC Academy kid, 19 years old, and made 22 appearances for the Rangers last season.
He's another guy that went to preseason with Sporting Kansas City for the first phase before rejoining the Swope Park Rangers when they began their preseason a few weeks later.
USL fans might remember Natsel Selbel on his pass that led to Dane Kelly's winner in that dramatic playoff victory over Orange County Blues, that 9-man victory. Natsel Selbel springing the break for Dane Kelly. He's got just over 3 minutes remaining in this game to try and make an impact. Highland, he'll have a rip straight at Adrian Zendejas, but certainly Kyle Highland got his entire leg behind that one. Now he'll have to drop into his defensive position here as the Rangers going down the right-hand side. It's a loose pass from Selbel, bailed out by Maloto, who gives him a bit of a telling off in midfield.
That couldn't have worked out better for Maloto either.
Wound up being a decent pass to switch play over to the left-hand side. Ellis now playing it along the back. Omar Ballo, he'll go all the way back to the keeper. Oh, that's a really mishit back pass. Could have been an own goal there. I think Omar Ballo might be just a little happy to see that one float in behind for a corner kick.
Again, that could be what you're talking about when you sub into a game, especially on the back line. It's hard to get right into that high pace that's going on around you.
The pressure from Oklahoma City. And now that leads to another corner kick. This time Ballo gets ahead to it. He'll knock it out of play for a corner. We'll reset, go to the other side. Just about into the 89th minute. Oklahoma City trails 3-1. Corner kick in towards the penalty area, and you could see Cody Andrews just on his heels there, and the ball floating just past him. Narrowly missed opportunity there for Oklahoma City. And again from a set piece. Take a look at, you can see hands on the head from Cody Andrews.
One of those things when someone's serving a ball into the box, you're not exactly sure where it's going to go, so you have to be able to react to where the ball's going, and I think he might have been able to get one step forward to get ahead on it, but instead he kind of froze just in case it was going to go behind him. A chance he'd probably like to get back again.
Blessing with a nice touch to bring that under his control. He's found a good ball out for Selbel. Selbel now dancing around two defenders, 1-on-2 from Selbel in the box now. Selbel goes down under pressure. Nothing given from the referee. So Selbel danced around a few players there, but just couldn't quite get it off his toes in the box. Goes to ground and nothing given. Here comes Dixon. Finds Dixon on the overlap. Fizz to the back post, chested down and hit towards the near post. Coy Kraft just trying to get an effort on target there, and Zendejas with a smooth save down to his right.
Initially, the service looks a little long by Dixon, but it actually goes right to Coy Kraft, and something that Oklahoma Energy FC is doing extremely well tonight is getting good chances on their long shots towards goal.
Now a little bit of afters in the middle of the pitch. Jose Barril has found his way into referee John Freeman's pocketbook.
Ladies and gentlemen,
So there was a bit of an altercation there in midfield.
Number 14, Jose Baril, in the 90th minute.
See there on the far side, fourth official has put up the 3 minutes of stoppage time. So there's 3 minutes of added time for the Swope Park Rangers to hold on to this 3-1 lead. This 3-1 come from behind lead. Responded so well after conceding first in the first half. Still a bit of defending to do, though. We'll start with another set piece opportunity for the Energy. Baril will take again. Good delivery in towards the spot. But a foul, perhaps offside, actually given by the referee. Tough to tell there, as it didn't look like anything wrong in the challenge, so it wasn't offside in the end. John Freeman still holding his hand up. There's a nice touch from Martinez to bring the ball under his control. Barnathan, you can see him hunting Martinez down, pokes the ball loose, only as far as Dixon. Clever pass. This is good build-up from Energy FC. Koenig to the far post. It's a great first-time hit. Did it take a deflection on the way out? Yes, it did. It'll be a corner kick for Oklahoma City. Taken quickly towards the near post. Rasmussen can't flick it on. Highland tries to have a go. Shallowy will now look up, slide it in for Blessing. He's got a couple players over on the right-hand side. If he can find a pass, he does. Maloto unchallenged in the area, and he skews it wide. Lebo Maloto.
You could tell that's exactly what the Swope Park Rangers have been working on with that possession. Daniel Shallowy and Latif Blessing both have the perfect weight on those passes. I think Maloto obviously would want that chance back one more time.
Lebo Maloto coming on as a substitute, and he had a wonderful chance here to add a fourth for the Rangers.
Again, that's a great pass by Latif Blessing.
And now a red card has been issued out, and this is, I don't believe, for the challenge here, but in the aftermath, Jose Baril, I think, has gone into the notebook for a second time. Perhaps for dissent there. We'll have to receive official word, but it doesn't really matter. A late red card for Jose Baril, his second yellow of the game. Oklahoma City down now to 10 men as the clock just about ready to run out. So there's the challenge. And Baril was not involved at all in that tackle on Christian Duke. But it's of no consequence now to the end result of this game. Baril sent off in the final seconds. But what matters most, the numbers on the score. Swope Park Rangers 3, Oklahoma City 1. And this, the first game of the 2017 season. And Molly Dreska, what a performance from the Swope Park Rangers to come from behind.
I think you could see a lot of what they were working on at training this week show itself in the game tonight, especially getting wide, getting the ball to the end line, and playing the ball back across the green. You saw them do that on both of their first two goals.
A nice come from behind victory led by this man, Daniel Shallowy, a goal and an assist in the second half, and that was the difference in this game. Swope Park Rangers coming from behind to win 3-1, and we talked about a change in system, and so far so good. What a good result to start the season for Nikola Popovic.
And what an opportunity what a good opportunity it is for all of these players that are playing for the USL team right now, whether that's Sporting Kansas City first team players or the USL guys. By transitioning into this formation that matches Sporting Kansas City's, they have this opportunity to show themselves in this formation, and then Peter Vermes could see, who was here watching tonight with Kerry Zavagnin and Zoran Savic, to see if they can then call them up and easily fit right into the first team. Daniel Shallowy and Latif Blessing both did a great job at that tonight.
It's a great result for the Swope Park Rangers, the defending Western Conference champions, as they start this season with a 3-1 victory over Oklahoma City Energy FC. Stick with us as we'll go to a quick break, and we'll be right back to wrap things up, including all the highlights from this 3-1 win for the Swope Park Rangers. Welcome back to the post-game show here from Kansas City, Missouri, Swope Soccer Village and Children's Mercy Victory Field. The Swope Park Rangers coming out victorious in the 2017 USL season opener, a 3-1 victory over Oklahoma City Energy. Let's take a look at the highlights from tonight's action, as there's a nice crowd out here in Kansas City, Missouri to watch the Rangers in their opening action, and this was the opening goal, Molly, just a wonderful set piece.
Was good of Cody Andrews, the local Kansas City guy. Probably very excited to put that one in the back of the net.
Meanwhile, on the other end, just before halftime, how crucial was it to get this equalizer?
It was really important, and then it took off from there. 2 more goals to follow, including this one from Daniel Shallowy, getting down the end line, playing the ball back across the grain, and a great finish by Latif Blessing to put it back where it came from initially.
That'll be the game-winning goal, as it turns out. Good work rate from Daniel Shallowy and really the whole forward line all throughout the night.
Absolutely, and then we see it again on that third goal with Christian Duke, a staple for the Swope Park Rangers for the last year, and now hopefully again this year, and Daniel Shallowy again placing it right into the corner.
Wonderfully passed there from Christian Duke. Shallowy putting an emphatic third goal onto this result. And a goal and assist from Daniel Shallowy in the second half, and that leads to this 3-1 victory for the Swope Park Rangers. And Molly Dreska, what are your final thoughts coming away from this first game of the 2017 season?
Thought it was a very good performance for the Swope Park Rangers, and it was good to see some of the younger players, but then also some of the players that are with Sporting Kansas City come down and pretty much fit in seamlessly. I think the strategy so far is working in Game 1.
It'll be exciting to watch that progress throughout the rest of the season as the Swope Park Rangers try and defend their Western Conference crown from last season. A really good start as they come away victorious in this one, 3-1 over the visiting Oklahoma City Energy. For Jordan Burrell, Brad Zimmerman, and the rest of our wonderful crew here in Kansas City, Missouri. For Molly Dreska, I'm Carter Augustine. Thanks for staying with us tonight Final score here from Kansas City, Swope Park Rangers 3, Oklahoma City 1.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent from the United Soccer League.